Welcome to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Joe Reed, and Robin Whitten, the founder herself of AudioFile, is joining me for the entire week. Hello, Robin.
Hello, Joe.
How are you? How is
Uh,
autumn for you?
Oh, it's so beautiful and a little crispy around the corners here. It's a great season. It really is. And New England is,
Yeah, I don't like it at all. The days are
well,
shorter.
let's not talk about that.
I get
Maybe it
sad.
makes for good listening. It's a good time for listening.
It does make for good
Absolutely.
listening. So, what do you have in store for us?
Well, I'm going to start off with a very exciting audiobook that I encountered that has gone to the very top of my list to recommend, and it's called Impossible Creatures by Katherine Rundell and read by Samuel West.
Mm,
Now, I usually, we're usually in the mystery zone,
we are.
but this is a children's middle grade children's title, and but also it is the best family listening that I've come across this year or maybe in a couple years.
Wow, and Rundell, I mean, she writes for middle grade. This is her 6th novel, but her first fantasy.
Yes, and what a fantasy this is. We start with the premise of two kids, Christopher and Mal, who's also known as the Flying Girl, go on a quest to find out why the magic that protects a hidden archipelago is fading and the impossible creatures, those magical creatures who live there, are dying. So this is right out of the Philip Pullman tradition.
Oh, absolutely, and Samuel West is someone who knows a thing or two about fantasy.
He does indeed. This is, I think this is, for me, this is like a new classic for a family adventure with the most wonderful underpinnings of literary and magical, mystical, literary creatures that we've read about for centuries. Sphinxes, we have dragons, including a tiny dragon, kraken, all kinds of creatures. And one of the things that, as we first hear Sam West's voice, is that there's a bestiary in the very beginning, which introduces each of these creatures.
Oh, lovely, and how does he read that? That would be hard to read.
Well, it was a little surprising at first because you have to kind of adjust to what's going on, but he's going through the names of each creature and the description of it. And what happens is, you sort of take that all in, and of course, then they all come back. It's like the cast. It's like a
Exactly,
cast list.
that's why I thought it would be really hard to read.
You sort of tune into Sam's voice, which is beautiful, and it's a little detached, which initially, because a bestiary is a long list of descriptions.
Well, let's listen to a little bit, set this up for us.
All right, this is a little introduction to Mal, our flying girl, and we discover her special powers.
Okay, this is Impossible Creatures by Katherine Rundell, read by Samuel West.
It was a very fine day, until somebody tried to kill her. Mal had returned home from her journey, flying back from the forest with arms outstretched and coat flapping, buffeted by the wind. Mal Arvorian could fly only when the wind blew. The weather that day was perfect, a westerly breeze that smelt of the sea, and she was sky-spinning, twisting in the cold air. Her flying coat was thick and too big for her, and she wore it with the sleeves rolled up 4 times. When the wind was up, it didn't need to be strong, but some wind was necessary. She could catch at the corners and open it like wings, and feel the breeze lift her off her feet. That day she had flown over treetops, her shoes brushing the tips of their branches, and swooped low, causing a herd of unicorns to scatter.
The pace is perfect, perfect.
Yes.
And I have always been seduced by the quality of his voice. I mean, he has a voice like an instrument.
Well, he's using it very beautifully here, and of course, we know that I chose that little bit so we would know that there were unicorns because, of course, unicorns are fabulous.
Everybody likes a unicorn.
All these creatures, they are so fun. There are, illustrations in the print edition, so I listened, and then I bought the print edition because I had to have, visuals of these incredible, impossible creatures.
Okay, and the book, aptly named, is Impossible Creatures by Katherine Rundell, read by Samuel West. Thank you so much, Robin. What a great way to begin the week, and I will talk to you
All
tomorrow.
right, we will talk. Thanks.
Support for Behind the Mic comes from Dreamscape, an award winning audiobook publisher with a catalog that includes authors like L.J. Shen, Frida McFadden, and Annie Ernaux. I'm Joe Reed. Talk to you tomorrow.